Let's go do it too. Alright, everybody, welcome back to the Fragbite THOR Open Qualifier number 5, Mambo number 5. This is the round of 16, I do believe. This is a match between Virtus.Pro from Russia and STG from Lebanon. As Virtus.Pro, we watched the first two games they played, and so far they have just been dominating, beating some very strong players. Really tore through their first opponent 34-1, and then beat a very strong team with players like Deli and Mine. I think Jo might have been in the game. I'm a Sheep Sucks, strong North American stack. Really used Omni and Razor very effectively, so Virtus.Pro trying to redeem themselves recently as they have not performing too well recently, but they're trying to get back on track. So this might be a good start for them as they're going to face STG in this round of 8 or round of 16 match. Broodmother going to be the first ban for them yet again. They do have first picks, so might as well just ban out heroes that they don't like playing against and see what the opponent decides to go with. Will the opponent leave a bunch of heroes in the pool so they can get one of the first pickups? It's decide to ban out the Rubik, so most likely STG will just ban out the Darkseer with the second round. We'll see if Bat gets a ban stake yet again, as Bat, of course, first ban, first pick status these days. Definitely worth it. Wins a lot of his lanes. Very powerful initiator. Very scary to deal with. Very annoying to deal with as well for a lot of opponents. And but so far there are 3 heroes still yet to receive the ban stick, as Bat, TA, and Darkseer were the heroes remaining that are traditionally in that first round. Darkseer is removed, so now STG gonna have to decide. Ban TA, ban Bat. Looks like Virtus.Pro gonna be able to pick up the Bat Rider if they decide to go for it. As TA was banned, picks up Jakiro. They're going with what works for them. So now they have STG has the option to pick up Bat Rider, Bounty Hunter. Bounty Hunter, of course, having a lot of success recently. Let me just check on the stream really fast. Looks like I don't know, stream not showing up. Got a black screen. Well, anyway, just gonna go on to this as STG taking a lot of time, gonna dip into some of their reserve time as well for this first round of picks and bans. Will they pick up, like I predicted, the Bounty Hunter Bat Rider combination? Could be a bait. Virtus.Pro very strong with the Jakiro. KSI has been playing a really strong Jakiro thus far, so really a strong pickup for them. Ice Path, of course, very ridiculous. Fits in a tri-lane as well as anybody. As I think, no, stream is back, so that's all good. But STG really taking a lot of time. The standard picks would be Bat Rider, Bounty Hunter, but we're going to see Disruptor being first picked up. Very unusual. If you see Disruptor picked up, it's usually towards the tail end, but it looks like they want to secure their tri-lane right off the bat. May try to counteract some heroes that Virtus.Pro might go. Virtus.Pro very aggressive. Disruptor pretty strong with his glimpses in terms of sending people back, but Glimpse has a long cooldown of 30 seconds at level 4, a minute long at level 1. So I'm not too sure about the Disruptor first pickup, but maybe they have some sort of secret strategy. Maybe they want to synergize the kinetic field with some other things. That could be a possibility as well. But right now, STG gonna dip into the last bits of their reserve time already in the first round, and that means they got to make some quick decisions later on. They pick up their 2 supports right off the bat, so right now they have their 2 components of the tri-lane already set. But we'll see if Virtus.Pro decides to pick up some strong carries in this phase in order to prevent STG from getting them in their third pickup, and then start banning out the carries as well. Meanwhile, Virtus.Pro probably thinking about, alright, what are these guys thinking picking up their 2 supports so early on? Bounty Hunter, a very logical choice, as Night Stalker is going to be picked up as well. Night Stalker worked very well for them in their first round matchup, as he was able to go pretty much unchecked. Of course, he did give them the only death for their team. Could have been 34-0, but Night Stalker did die at around the 20 kill mark. But Night Stalker does fit Virtus.Pro's aggressive playstyle. Bounty Hunter, of course, one of the most successful heroes as of late with his offlane. But so far in this tournament that we've seen, Bounty Hunter has not been receiving too much success. As Beastmaster is the pickup for STG, so they have offlane. They are dire, so it'll be easier to ancient stack. So that is an option. But right now, they haven't picked up any of their carries. One of the things I like saying in this patch is that the carry pool is so varied. That is, you can pretty much pick most carries and they will fit in quite well. PL, Void, Anti-Mage, Morphling has not been seeing too much success. Clinks, Alchemist, you name it. Anything besides Bloodseeker, apparently, and he will be picked up. Razor was used to great effect by Virtus.Pro in the last game, as Leshrac and Undying going to be the bans. Undying, not too sure if they would have picked it up. Maybe they would go for a mid-game time push. Actually, Undying makes a bit of sense if STG want to go a bit all-in. Undying, Crystal Main, Disruptor lane, pretty scary. Can push down towers relatively easily with the Nova and the Tombstone. So now that I think about it, it makes a lot more sense. But I think STG will pick up a standard carry to go with their two supports. Meanwhile, Virtus.Pro, or STG, taking a little bit of time, ban out the Sand King, so trying to remove whatever team fight is still left. Banning out heroes that do a big amount of AoE damage as well as can help out in the tri lane for Jakiro. Nightstalker will most likely be soloing mid, and Bounty Hunter will most likely be in the off lane. Jakiro will support the tri lane, so far Virtus.Pro does have a decent amount of flexibility to go with their last two pickups. They could go for a jungle option, but jungling options have been fading out recently. Chen and Enchantress no longer first pick, first ban status these days. So maybe they'll pick up a traditional support and pick up their hard carry as well. Juggernaut's going to be banned by Virtus.Pro. Eliminating heroes who can push as well as team fight quite effectively. Healing Word, of course, pretty annoying to deal with as a spell, as Anti-Mage is going to be last ban. And there's the Barrier being picked up, so could see a Tri-Lane Bat. Most likely we're going to see a Tri-Lane Nightstalker with Bat Rider solo mid. So we're going to see probably one more support for the Nightstalker. He's going to receive pretty much untouched free farm. Won't have the immense amount of levels that you'll have by the first night. They could also do off-lane Bat Rider and put Bounty Hunter in the Tri-Lane, but Bat Rider most likely will be in solo mid position. Would make most sense. I mean, Queen of Pain's still in the pool, so if STG want to go for a pretty strong Bat Rider counter in the laning phase, Queen of Pain could be a viable option, and I think Queen of Pain would be a solid pickup right here. One thing that's a bit worrying is STG pick up a Magnus, my god. So they are going to go for something that synergizes as well, the Disruptor. Picking a Magnus, how are they going to lane him? Magnus has actually been seeing a decent amount of play recently. Skewer with its range buff from 800 to 1200 range, pretty powerful, can initiate across map, and power is no joke, gives you a lot of plus damage. Reverse polarity, if it lands, is pretty much the best ultimate in the game, if it lands, of course, because it's a 4-second constant stun where you can just attack, suck everybody into one position. It's like a Darkseer vacuum as well as a black hole in one, and you can still attack while you're doing it. It's pretty strong, but of course that all depends on if you can hit it. But will they use Magnus in the carry role? Will they put in the mid solo position? That is definitely going to be interesting to see, as STG pretty much pulled out the ace in their hole in the 4th pickup, so they could go for something unusual in the 5th pickup as well, as they still have to get maybe their mid solo or maybe their hard carry. It'll be interesting to see how Virtus.Pro decides to lane as well. Most likely now we're definitely going to see Bat Rider in the mid solo position. Necrolite's going to get picked up by Virtus.Pro. So Necrolite, Magnus, man, we're seeing a lot of cool heroes in this game. Necrolite has actually been seeing relatively more amount of play than he has been seeing in the past. I know some European teams have been picking him up. The Chinese team likes to experiment with him in Dota 1 and Dota 2 sometimes. Sayus buff was really useful as Chaos Knight. Not really off the wall, but pretty powerful pickup for STG. But Necrolite is a very powerful anti-tank, provides a lot of healing, and when he gets a kill in a fight, he can pretty much stay in the battle for the entire fight, so it's going to be pretty powerful in that regard. The problem is Necrolite does take a decent amount of items in order to get going, and his Scythe at level 1 is not really the most powerful thing in the book. But we are going to see a Magnus solo mid most likely, so Chaos Knight in the tri lane. Could see a dual lane mid as well, that might be a better option, as maybe a Chaos Knight Crystal Main dual lane or a Chaos Knight Disruptor dual lane mid would be a better option in terms of shutting down Bat Rider. Because if it's Bat Rider versus Magnus mid, it's not a matchup that Magnus will win in any scenario. But we'll introduce the players in the teams. As Virtus.Pro Airman going to be playing that. Necrolite looks like KSI playing the Jakiro once again. Loving that hero. Bandit Santa is going to be playing that Bounty Hunter yet again. Tame Wild going to be playing the Nightstalker yet again, and NS is going to be playing the Bat Rider, so we're going to see a very supportive Bat Rider. Just gonna stack napalms, I guess, and Firefly in and around, use Flame Break as well to push people into awkward positions. So I'm sure STG, seeing NS on the Barretter, know a little bit better how the lanes will shape up, as seeing which player is playing which hero does make a lot of difference. As we're seeing Zombie playing the Disruptor, Captain Chlorine going to be playing the Beastmaster, Quares Moss playing the Magnus, Zombie is playing the Disruptor. Like I said, Kamikaze is playing the Chaos Knight, and looks like KSI taking a bunch of damage, but he's a Chikiro. He will shrug it off, and Dreadlord is going to be playing the Crystal Main. So pretty much standard maneuvering, standard warding going on thus far. Still interesting to see NS. I know that Faith played a support Barretter for IG, so that could be pretty interesting. We're going to see a trialing with Necrolite. Necrolite usually needs a decent amount of experience, but I mean, if he gets his farm, he's pretty much as powerful as there would be. And immediately the ward is countered. Nice identification by the Radiant squad, giving the Beastmaster no vision whatsoever. And now they can roam pretty much uncontested, and Beastmaster won't be able to see them coming until he gets the Hawk going. Meanwhile, Magnus versus the Nightstalker solo mid. The reason why I said Nightstalker would probably be in Tron, because that's usually what we've seen in the past when Nightstalkers run with other mid-solo heroes. But it looks like Bounty Hunter is going to be in a bit of trouble. Centaur going to be dropped, as well as Nova and the Thunderstrike. But do they have enough damage? He's going to get outside of Centaur range. And unfortunately, they did not have enough damage. Level 1 might have been better to get the Nova, because it does a bit more duration of the slow. 3.5 second duration of the slow, as opposed to 1.5 duration of the Frostbite. But just not enough damage to keep the Bounty Hunter back. As Crystalman going to pop another ward, just for some harassment purposes, keep Bounty Hunter away from the lane. But I already used both of her sentry wards, and they're going to expire in 3 minutes, so Bounty Hunter is just going to take his time, get experience. All he needs is track, and it's not like they're controlling the creep equilibrium anyway, so he's going to get his experience no matter what. As Bounty Hunter is just like, alright, you can place the sentry wards, but if you're not controlling the creep equilibrium, then I'll be able to get experience regardless if sentry wards are there or not. So a little bit of misplay by STG. Hopefully it won't cost them anything too big. Nightstalker is outlaning Magnus. Magnus really needs the bottle and the shockwave spam to start going before he starts controlling the lane quite well. And only level 1 shockwave, not really close to picking up his bottle at all. So Nightstalker with high base armor, 6 base armor compared to 5, higher base damage, and a more spammable nuke in the form of Void. Going to be pretty good in that regard. And Nightstalker picked up the fast bottle. He had 200 gold in the bank at the beginning of the game just to save up, and now he has the bottle, and now he's going to control the lane pretty much at will. So mid lane is being won by the Nightstalker handily. Bottom lane, Beastmaster getting pushed out, still level 1. Meanwhile, Bounty Hunter has hit level 3, so all the lanes are being won by Virtus.Pro at the moment. It's going to come down to how well the Chaos Knight can farm up, and unfortunately, Chaos Knight has not been having the impact. I've always thought Chaos Knight a pretty overrated carry, semi-carry as well, because he just doesn't win very much, but if he does manage to get his items up, you can get a pretty good timing going with those illusions and just overpower the other team. Meanwhile, as I try to get some of my voice back, been casting quite a bit today. Chaos Knight picked up a Quelling Blade, that variable damage, a little bit tricky to last hit with, but usually Chaos Knight doesn't have too big of a time. Meanwhile, Jakiro just pulling it up, has Liquid Fire as well. Beastmaster level 1. That camp was nicely warded by the rain, just completely shutting down the Beastmaster. Virtus.Pro just seems to have all the cards in the book. KSI whipping an Ice Path. Man, KSI's Ice Paths, when they're not in lane, have been magnificent, but when they're in lane, they don't hit anything. Poor guy. Nightstalker activates a regen rune. Oh man, he has 600 gold more before Magnus can even pick up his bottle. And looks like Santa is going to roam to the middle lane. May get a gank getting set up, as Sentry Ward going to see Santa is not there. But there might be engagement for the Magnus. It looks like the Shadow Walk is still in effect. Looks like he has about 3 more seconds left on that Shadow Walk. Will they engage in that time? But Santa is going to engage. He does manage to get it. Skewer at 1200 range. Going to be able to get out of there just fine. So Santa wasting a bit of time, but since the Dire are doing a better job in terms of controlling creep equilibrium, keeping the Magnus back, never a bad thing. Is going to use the salve and going to pick up boots as well, so not even going to go for the bottle build. So I'm not really too sure how he expects to really keep up with Night Stalker in the lane. Maybe he just wants to get that survivability. Maybe he wants to beat Night Stalker to the rune. There's going to be a rune race, but Night Stalker does have Void. Will he be able to get it off? He does, and Magnus does turn around. He has Skewer, so if he really wanted it, he could have gotten it, but it might have just been too big of a mana investment, and considering he doesn't have Bottle, it might not have been worth it. Meanwhile, Night Stalker 25-9, and NS 25-0. Oh, I know what NS is doing. He's stacking the jungle with Batrider and then Fireflying it. Very, very strong strategy for Batrider. Seeing that Necrolite is having pretty much free farm on the bottom lane, I was a bit puzzled as NS's magnificent creep score, but considering NS is probably one of the best support players in the world, it's really, really unlikely that he'll see so much farm. But he's just stacking the creep camps, dropping some napalms, dropping some Firefly, and able to clear those creeps with relative ease, and now that he has Tranquils, he can jungle even more effectively. And meanwhile, this Beastmaster has had no success whatsoever. Decided to go for Inner Beast Store rather than the Call of the Wild. Doesn't even want that Hawk for scouting. Not too sure why he picked up Inner Beast at this stage in the game. Really doesn't make too much sense to me. In the mid lane solo position, Inner Beast was used to pick up in order to push the creep equilibrium and get easier access to the runes. But in this scenario, it doesn't make too much sense. Meanwhile, Magnus and Night Stalker are going to dance back and forth. Skewer going to pull the Night Stalker back to the tower. He might just take the fall right here. There goes the silence. He's got to bottle up. One more hit, and Shockwave will be up. Will there be a first blood? Actually, Quar is Moss. Oh, it just turns nighttime, so he didn't even need the boots. Fortunate for the Night Stalker, get some earn charges, and that is probably one of the most unfortunate turn events, and Magnus played that pretty well, but unfortunately had too little mana and too little HP to work with, and it just turned nighttime. And now Night Stalker is going to be able to go on a tear now that he's completely won the middle lane solidly. I mean, he's doubling up the Magnus and some in terms of creep kills. Meanwhile, Bounty Hunter is hit level 5, Chaos Knight, 35 CS, only level 4, so Bounty Hunter is out-leveling the Chaos Knight, Crystal Maiden dual lane. At least Disruptor is level 4, so the supports on the side of the Dire are getting some experience. But Beastmaster is really just having a miserable time, and looks like there's going to be a wraparound gank attempt. Here comes the Night Stalker. Beastmaster, you are in for a world of hurt. The Scythe comes in, completely necessary because he's going to get a lot of mana regen up, going to get those death pulses going, and they're going to be able to push down this tower. And you see the power of Sadist. Even 1 point of Sadist, you saw you got 22 mana regen per second for a decent amount of time. So very, very much worth it. But unfortunately, they don't really have the strongest tower pushers physical damage, as Quar's Moss is going to die to the Night Stalker and Bounty Hunter combination in the middle lane. NS is going to show up late to the party as usual, but it's okay for NS to be fashionably late. And here comes Liquid Fire push, level 2 Liquid Fire, so going to get a lot more frequent, as Beastmaster going to try to cast the axes, has hit level 3 at the very least, so he's going to be able to clear the creep waves a bit more effectively. And there's going to be a wraparound smoke gank for the top lane. Uh-oh, Chaos Knight. Your time of free farm might come to an end, my friend. But Disruptor and Crystal Maiden, pretty high level. Level 5 Disruptor, level 3 Thunderstrike, not scaling max level Glimpse. Level 4 CM, put 2 points into Brilliance Aura as well. So these are pretty interesting builds, but Void is enough to clean up the kill, and here comes NS, 3 points of Sticky Napalm, gets the Flaming Lasso up, able to decimate the Crystal Maiden. Here comes the more kills. Here comes the more kills as Firefly and Ice Path enough to seal the victory on that top lane. So far VP getting up to one of their trademark starts in this tournament. They are just looking so dominant in this tournament, and they're really taking advantage of not too many other strong teams in the tournament so far, as Necrolite trying to get as much mana as he could to try to go on the offensive for the Beastmaster. Crystal Maiden, has actually does have boots, so it's something for her. You know, there's going to be a mid-tower push, Disruptor level 5. One thing that is going good for the Dire squad is that their supports are getting a decent amount of levels, but still, it's very scary for a support even if you are high leveled against a Night Stalker and Knight. And I'm really puzzled to see why Crystal Main won for 2 points in or I guess wanted to feel the shockwave, but Night Stalker is going to go to town on the Disruptor. Actually manages to escape right now, and NS not able to get enough napalm stacks to kill. And here comes the Crystal Main. Axe is going to fly, Night Stalker and juke. Night Stalker with pretty high base armor, and looks like Crystal Main going to take a Void. A couple more hits, NS picks up another kill, going to bottle up for the Beastmaster. Here comes a stack, and Void will be there, pushing him back. Nice use of Flame Break by NS, and that is how it's done. Beautiful play, and Magnus just trying to do whatever he can, but Magnus can't honestly do too much in this situation. Gonna just have to skewer the heck out of there. Ice Path gonna whip, but Necrolite is on the pursuit, not able to get the Reaper Scythe off, but still overwhelming victories being taken by Virtus.Pro thus far. And keep in mind, it's less than 10 minutes in the game. And I think they have the better late game anyway, because Necrolite is probably one of the scariest hard carries in the game. Just because he can pretty much keep everybody alive. He's a natural Hex carrier. He's ridiculously tanky. And it's not like there's any natural silences. They have Static Storm. But Necrolite should be able to tank up through that. And yeah, I do think Necrolite does beat Chaos Knight in a sustained battle if Chaos Knight does not get any ridiculous crits. But still, it's going to come down to this Chaos Knight trying to get as much farm as possible. Track is going to come in. Santa is returned to the lane, trying to go for the drones field. Pretty standard these days. Not much mana to work with. Has picked up the phase boots already. Meanwhile, Night Stalker has earned, has a point booster, and he's on a roll. He's going to be able to pop the regen rune, trying to go on the offensive. He's hit level 9, 10 minutes in, still around 1.5 minutes left for the first night, so he'll be able to hit level 10, level 11 by the end of the first night, and that is what you want to do as a Night Stalker. You are still using the level 1 darkness, 25 seconds, does not care. Gonna go to town on this Magnus. Looks like the Urn of Shadows is gonna be used as well. Disruptor gonna be there to scare away, but Night Stalker, he does not care. He's gonna dive back in with the Void. One more Urn. Oh no, the Urn was on cooldown. Skewer and Glimpse enough to save that Magnus's life for now, but still, Night Stalker is doing his job. He's preventing it. 2 heroes from getting experience and farm, pretty much. And Bounty Hunter might be in a bit of trouble, but here comes the Flame Lasted by the Baron, and Night Stalker has come to join the party. Looks like Chaos Knight going to take the fall. Tank, but you can only tank so much against Baron or Firefly and a Night Stalker Void. And NS, with the help of the Bounty Hunter, another teleport in, as I'm not too sure what this guy is doing, Magnus, but he's going to get owned if he stays around too much longer, and Night Stalker's going to make that happen. He's going to go on the pursuit, cast the Urn, cast the Void. Here comes the Napalm stacks, and Magnus is completely done. As a couple more hits, oh, Flame Break will be enough. Nicely done by NS. Getting 2 points in Flame Break, 2 points into Firefly. Enough with the stacks to pick up a kill. Necrolite is just farming it up on the bottom lane. Finish the mechanism. Already has a pipe. Virtus.Pro this tournament, my god. Man, it would be cool if they could play like this every tournament. Seriously. As Necrolite has finished the mechanism. 12k gold advantage, 12 minutes game, 13k gold around similar experience graph. Hero levels are ridiculous. Experience per minute, ridiculous. Gold, ridiculous. Net worth, ridiculous. Gold per minute, not so ridiculous. Kill, death, and assist, 12 to nothing. Very ridiculous. Last hits and knives, complete in favor. Actually, Chaos Knight doing relatively well, but also has been dying. And this Magnus pick is pretty much been a non-factor in this game thus far. Couldn't even win against a Night Stalker in the middle lane. Jakiro trying to maneuver himself into position, has finished the Arcane Boots. Here comes Bauer at the Haste Rune, gonna fly over the cliff, gonna drag Chaos Knight up and over it, leave it trapped on the cliff, can only reality rift, and he's taking constant damage from the Firefly, but they managed to get their first kill at the very least, a small moral victory. They managed to kill the Jakiro, but Crystal Main is gonna get stacked on a couple more Flame Breaks, as the Frostbite not gonna be enough. Santa is gonna pick up an unstoppable streak. Beastmaster not even yet level 6, he is gonna live for now. But they turn their targets to a much easier target. They kill the Disruptor, and Beastmaster not yellow 6, 16-1. Can they get to another 34-1 victory? Looks like it might just happen as they pick up the Beastmaster relatively easily. Night Stalker pretty low HP, and it is 13 minutes in. Night Stalker level 12, and he already has level 2 darkness. He is just going to be on a rampage. Immediate cancellation of the teleport, as Chaos Knight realized that might not be a good idea. As GG's called by Captain Chlorine, so once again, Virtus.Pro let the other team get 1 kill and end the game in less than 15 minutes. So Virtus.Pro just making a mockery of this tournament so far. Just been crushing teams left and right. GGs are called all around. So the Virtus.Pro guys are going to move on to the round of 8. And they are going to move around to it in style as they've just been crushing everybody. This is rated R. This is rated NC-17. I would not advise you watching this if you are a little kid. But yeah, just gonna wait for the Crystal Main and the Chaos Knight to disconnect, but Virtus.Pro took it in convincing fashion. I mean, the Scourge, or the Dire, saw the cards on the wall, saw the writing on the wall. They realized, Magnus is a solid hero, but in that situation, he really couldn't do too much, unless you have like a heavy roamer, which unfortunately Crystal Main can do. I still think running dual lanes with the Crystal Main to shut down a middle lane, and just keeping Disruptor with the Chaos Knight might have been a better idea, because Chaos Knight plus support is a pretty strong dual lane. Might have been able to keep the Night Stalker from getting out of control, and Chaos Knight still would have received relative free farm. It's not like the top lane managed to get too much accomplished. Keep Equilibrium was not properly controlled, so Bounty Hunter actually hit around level 5. They couldn't even get first blood on the Bounty Hunter. So yeah, I think dual lanes might have helped the Dire out more, but just overall the solid play by the Rain was enough to overcome any sorts of doubts in this game. Aghanims would have been finished by Night Stalker 15 minutes in the game. Gonna get that legal map hack as the towers pushed, everybody's disconnected on the Dire. So just waiting for the final score screen. But yeah, this has been a round of 16 match of the Fragbite THOR Open Qualifier number 5. 3 more qualifiers left after this one, and I will be bringing you all of them as the game ends. So thank you for watching, and I'll see you very, very soon with another match as soon as possible as Virtus.Pro, showing that they're no joke. They are steamrolling everybody. So, thank you for watching, and I'll see you soon.